Alright. On this channel, I've basically done 6 question and answer videos thus far. This is going to be the last video I make. And this goes out to pretty much everybody who is deciding whether they should put videos online or not. With that, I understand that this video is not going to be going anywhere now because I've recorded it, I've uploaded it, I've, done all this BS. For me, making this video was not to be angry at people. It was not to get my point out there. It was not to do this. Well, I guess it is to get my point out there, but not in a negative way. I just express myself. I express my point of views in a calm, mature manner. I express my opinions because that's all this video is just me responding and giving my opinion. At this point, the only thing that's planned is the order of comments and questions that I'm responding to. I haven't actually planned any sort of script beyond that as for what I'm going to say or how I'm going to say it. If I make a mistake, it is going to stay in the video. If I how do I say it? Basically, anything I say and do in this video, regardless of how rational it is at the time, is going to stay in the video. Regardless of what I say, how I say it, what I show, how I look, all that. As I said before, I'm not doing this to prove anyone wrong. I'm just doing this to explain my point of view, my story, my opinions, and then use that as a way to attempt to, persuade people not only to not be as attached to the internet, but to actually do what they want within reason and to live their lives as a normal person. I will get into that later. At least I'm assuming I will, because one of the things I'm responding to is highly detailed and touches on that subject. So I suppose 4 minutes of rambling is quite enough. Let's get into the video. I'll do a little bit more rambling. Here we go. Alright. So this is the first comment. And this is going to be the second time I want to try and talk about this, because somewhere along the line of the first time I recorded everything, somewhere along the line I lost track of which ones I've responded to and which ones I hadn't. So You answer. You know what? That alone doesn't mean anything. So I'm gonna respond to that after I leave the next comment on the screen for a while. And yeah, we'll get into that after that. Alright. So the first comment was, you answer. Spelled incorrectly, might I add. I'm just pointing that out. I'm not trying to correct anyone. The next comment states, my Kustin. Supposed to be question. With that, with the first one, you answer. Answer is spelled incorrectly. Which, you know, at this point, could be the fact that they were just typing quickly. They probably just pressed the wrong key at the wrong time. And that's all it was. There's no way for sure I can know what it is. If you're one of those people who, you know, focuses on this kind of thing, and I know those people are out there, I've got nothing against them, because I don't see why I should try and change them, regardless of whether I agree with them or not. What I am saying is, if you are one of those people, my suggestion, and again, all this is a suggestion, it's not an actual, hey, you need to do this now, it's a suggestion. I'm just putting it out there because I have my own life to live. I don't want to worry about yours. When it comes to that, that is exactly what I wanted to say to you. You have your own life. Why spend your entire life worrying about somebody writing answer A-W-N-S-E-R instead of A-N... What is it? A-N-S-W-E-R. They probably just taped the W in the wrong spots, or were doing that to try and get attention. As for the fact that in the next comment, question was spelled incorrectly, again, that could have been one of several things. Either they were typing quickly and missed the E in question, they didn't really give a shit and just left it, or they intentionally wrote it poorly, because that's what people do on the internet for attention. Now, having said that, I don't know whether it is somebody just typing quickly and misspelling due to a mistake, typing it incorrectly because they don't give a shit, or, you know, incorrectly typing it to try and get noticed and try and get some sort of response. I don't know whether it is one of those three or if it's something else I hadn't thought of at the point I'm saying this. So, I'm going to say one thing and one thing only. If you make videos online and somebody does that, where where you think somebody might have intentionally spelled something wrong, but you're not 100% sure. It's not worth your time to sit there and focus on, oh my god, it should be spelled like this and not like that. Now, I'm no longer making videos, I'm no longer commenting on questions. So that part does not bother me anymore. When it comes to the fact that they left 2 comments when they could have left 1, means one of several things, and I know I'm probably forgetting something. Because people tend to overlook things when they're in a hurry and they just want to get things done. Like what I'm doing with this video. Now, as I said before, this is the last video I'm making for YouTube. Anything, I don't know if I said, but anything that gets released with me, and it is something that I'd already filmed and either was released on another channel with my authorization or released on another other channel to attempt to make fun of me. And it is just my opinion that if anything should go noticed on the internet, it should be comments like this where they do 1 comment of, 2 words per comment, and then leave the rest of the comment in a completely separate thing. With that, I don't know whether they just did that intentionally and intentionally left 2 different comments to try and get me to say, oh my god, you know what? If you think somebody's doing that to your videos, ignore it. I know I brought it up. I know I'm going against what I said. But all I can say is the more you feed people that do that with their comments, whether they did it on purpose or not, the more you feed that kind of thing, the more you'll bring out the people who will actually do that to try and get noticed. I did that with either the first or the second question and answer video on this channel. And now that's something that's commonplace in the videos that I have, because I brought attention to it. Alright, Dr. Internet. That's another thing. Because they're faceless, because they're on the internet, people think, oh yeah, nobody will give a shit, I must be right, or I've done more research than so-and-so, and so-and-so doesn't know as much as me, or whatever. Something may happen to, sorry, itchy nose, itchy eyebrow. I don't know if it's allergies and my nose and eye are itching, but anyway, ironic that, that comes up on the clip where I'm talking about going to see the doctor. That's another thing that I see a lot of on, YouTube comments, videos. Oh yeah, so-and-so should go see a doctor because they have this wrong with them. Whoop-de-doo. You think somebody should go see a doctor if somebody else doesn't agree with you. I know it's a free country. At least the U.S. is a free country. I know people can leave comments and questions and stuff like that, however they want to, or, whenever or wherever they want to on the internet. I realize that. So I'm not saying stop it. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't respond. I'm just saying if I were making videos, I wouldn't respond to that at all. Beyond that, you know what? The reason I say that it's my suggestion that you don't worry about this stuff in comments like this, for not only do they say things like that to piss you off, some people, not everyone, some people, or to get noticed, or whatever. I may know more about the situation than you. You just got a quick look at it in the videos. If you leave a comment, it's based off of a quick look, not off of a complete diagnosis. Plus, for all you know, I could have gone to see a doctor already. You don't know. That's why if you were in my position, I would say, don't worry about it. Again, could have already tried it. For all, I don't know. You don't know me. I could have tried the gloves for all you know. Maybe they work, maybe they don't. You don't know. I don't know. I'm just explaining my point of view as to why that comment about the gloves should be ignored. Most people have never met on the internet. Most people who have, the ability to be a faceless person on the internet and just leave hateful comments or comments about how something should be done one way instead of the other, or even comments like this that are suggestions to say, hey, this could be fixed this way. If you take offense to it, that's your own deal. But with stupid comments like this, or even the next one, and again, the next one I'll talk about that when it comes up. But when it comes to comments like this, the best thing to do is to ignore it. It's not always easy. If you do make the videos, it's not always easy. And it's yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it, so yeah. As I said before, it could be either quick observations or it could be somebody trying to get noticed and attention and all that. You know what? If it's somebody trying to get noticed, then they're trying to get noticed. You assess the situation, see what other comments that person's left. If you want to respond to them, type it out, and then consider whether or not you want to give that person attention. Or you could even disable comments completely on your stuff. If you do make the videos, that'll eliminate any sort of urge for most people to respond to those questions. Help, I need somebody, help, not just anybody, help. I don't even remember where this comment came from or what it's associated with. At this point, I intentionally did it that way so I could just objectively talk about it. Make a joke or two. Blah blah blah. Most people, like I said, most people who are faceless on the internet tend to have some sort of animosity towards certain things because, oh look, nobody'll trace it back to me, nobody'll do this, and I can say what I want without repercussion. True or not, a lot of the people tend to think that way that I've spoken with. Whether or not that's true is a different story. Anyway, what I'm trying to get with, get to at with that point is sometimes people's comments can be stupid. Somebody will find a reason to call out, oh hey, so-and-so's comment is stupid because they're faceless and blah blah blah, and then the more other people get involved, the more you want to get involved in all this human psychology bullshit. And no, I don't claim to be a psychologist. I'm just claimed to want to study, you know, the way people think. So, it all basically boils down to attention. And how much attention people give comments like this. Regardless of whether they're trying to get attention or not. Again, I could just go all off on, off on the handle here. I could just get pissed off saying, oh hey, this guy said this but didn't do what he said and blah blah blah, and I could. Or I could read his next comment and see, oh hey, here's his question. And again, two things were done here. When it came to the comment saying, here's a question, they left two separate questions when they, or two separate comments when they could have just left it as one. And the wrong person will get all pissed off about it and blah 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 and whoop-de-friggin' do. Some people are doing that for attention. Some people are not. And then, when are you going to get your life together? Legitimate question. Used to stir up trouble on the internet by faceless people or by people who are associated to trolls and hackers, whether they are one or whether they know one or whether they know somebody that knows one or whatever the case may be. I don't know this person. For all I know, they're just trying to get to me. I can't let it get to me. Again, that's a tip for the people who do want to. And I'm just not saying don't. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying you gotta make up your own damn mind. But this is the kind of stuff you gotta deal with when you do make videos, if somebody does make videos. And how is that supposed to piss me off? I like a movie that somebody else doesn't like. Pisses me off how? Why am I not aware? That's exactly why I did these question and answer videos, to try and figure out who the people were that were laughing at me so I could root them out and say, those people are jackasses. Shut up. Leave me alone. When it comes to stand-up, you say stand-up is horrible in your opinion. I don't know whether you're talking about stand-up in general or my particular stand-up that I did or what have you. I hadn't, if you are talking about my personal stand-up, I hadn't read it out loud. I didn't know anything about whether I thought it'd be interesting. I wasn't going for funny, I was going for interesting for whatever reason. And then working funny into those stories. As for the question on whether you think it's my stand-up or just stand-up in general, if it is stand-up in general that you think is boring, then that's your opinion. As you say, in my opinion, this and this and this. Videos suck, however you're such a mess that it's fun to watch. Again, to try and draw out the people to make fun of me so I know who to trust and who not to trust. And what exactly did I just say about who to trust and who not to trust? It's something that was left either on my channel or on, one of my questions or whatever. And yet, for whatever reason, this person left this comment saying what they chose to say, and then posted 2 videos asking me questions on their Facebook page. There's the obvious question and the obvious response to that question. The obvious response would be whenever the frick I feel like it. Because, well, there is a difference between somebody else forcing you to lose weight and yourself forcing yourself to lose weight. Which, you know, some people do it because they're told to do it. I know that's gotta be something. But the only true way to lose weight, keep it off, is wanting to lose weight and then doing it correctly. So, again, this is another big issue, is weight. Either you're too fat, or you're too skinny, or you should lose weight, or you should gain weight, or this or that about your weight, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm in a lot of people do this just to become what I like to call attention whores. Oh, they do it for the attention. Another good one to try and gain the shoulda, woulda, coulda attacked him because he attacked me. It's just a comment to get people's attention. Common thing on YouTube and Facebook for people who set up their own Facebook for YouTube. I don't know what to say other than good job coming up with something original. It's so common it's not even funny anymore. Ha ha ha. And good for you if, you know, you getting laid is that big of a deal, or you have to announce it. I don't care if you do. Now, this is the exact thing I was talking about when it comes to weight comments. Many of these comments are just saying, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, I want attention. This is one of those comments. The reason I say that is because there's no way in hell that person is going to know what you do 24/7. Unless they stay awake 24/7 and follow you around 24/7. So, you know what? If you take offense to it, that means they're right. That's the way I look at it. And again, I want to clarify, the only reason I'm talking about these comments is not to bring attention to the fact that so-and-so said something nasty, because people can just pretend to be something else online. Like, somebody who is in, let's take somebody who's in 4th grade, right? they could say, oh yeah, I'm a doctor, copy something off of, Wikipedia about certain diseases, go research this and that, and say, hey, this is what I say because Wikipedia says it. Anyway, when it comes to what the questions actually, or what the comments actually about, they're basically saying I'm a pig because I eat too much, which may or may not be true, but of course they don't know that because, quite frankly, they don't watch me eat. Now, I want to clarify if you're insinuating anything here with that long-ass question or comment or whatever it is that you meant to do. I'm talking again about the people that spend way too much time online. It's all these people that, which I realize some people make a living online. Some people actually have, this or that they have to do because of their job. And that's fine. What I'm talking about is the people who go around leaving lengthy comments about, oh, you said this and I find it offensive because of this, or you said this and this is what I think you meant and is it true and blah 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 blah. That's a subtle way to get attention. Very subtle. And when it comes to trolling, it works. This kind of question here, the really long question, tends to work with people because people who do question and answer videos tend to think, oh yeah, long question, he must have put some thought into it. Well, yeah, but they're just trying to get that long question to make you read it and then elicit some sort of response from you, whether it is accurate or not. That way they can manipulate what you say. So it's just most of it. I'm not saying all of it. I'm not saying this is. A lot of it is for trolling purposes. At least from what I've seen on my stuff. I'm not saying it all is. I'm not saying most of it is. I'm just saying most of what I've seen is. Again, another fat ass comment. Good for people for pointing out the obvious that my face and my stomach are a little rounder than usual. Rounder than they should be. Thank you, Captain Obvious. You don't think I've noticed? Again, for those of you wanting to make videos, don't pay attention to those comments because they're not worth it. In the end, they'll get you in trouble. You'll just get pissed off at them. In the end, you'll just say, hey, screw it. focus on them, and you'll get more pissed off and more pissed off. The best you can do is block it and try and ignore it. And the only reason I'm bringing this kind of stuff up is because I'm not making any more videos. And big friggin' surprise. The final comment on this video is pertaining to my weight again. Or how much in this case, how much I eat. And for those of you actually wanting to make videos, this is common practice for faceless people or for people who want that kind of attention. This is what I was talking about before when I said people spend too much time online. Or, at least I have a life is what I said. When it comes to this kind of comment, this is what I was talking about. My comment, at least I have a life, was actually in response to people saying stupid shit and using up their time speaking negatively about other people instead of spending time bettering themselves. And I guess this is kind of there we go. Anyway, I guess this is kind of what I wanted to make the video about, is I am spending time intentionally trying to improve myself. I may not have the best life, but I have friends, I have family. I care about things other than attention. I know the truth about myself. And if any of these comments piss me off, whether it's somebody misspelling words or calling me not funny or calling me fat or whatever, all I can say is I'm doing my best. And the people who are asking me whether or not I'm going to get it together, you'll just have to live without me. My life is my own. I can't live focused on your BS. I need to make myself happy. I can't live focused on, whether or not Joe Schmo down the street likes my video, or whether or not John Doe across the street will be in a video with me, or what some person that lives 2,000 miles away and in another state completely or in another country completely, even, regardless of where I live. Other people who basically spend their entire life on the internet, who have nothing better to do. Granted, yes, I realize there are people like Charles Trippy who make their living off of making videos. They're actually doing something productive, though. They're actually getting out and doing things, and they're making a living doing something they enjoy. So, you know what? I've got my own life to live. I've got my own shit to worry about. Big moral of the story, regardless of how long I've been talking, the big moral of the story, what I'm trying to say to you guys is, live your life to the fullest. If somebody tells you something negative, regardless of whether it's, truthful or not, if somebody says something negative either to you or about you, you can either focus on it, fix it, or ignore what they say. And reading through some of these comments that I've received, some of them have been pretty harsh. Some of them have not been harsh. It's not my responsibility to leave those comments, though. And for those of you who are leaving comments saying, things about, this being stupid, or, you who were actually leaving comments just to piss me off. You know what? I was using you. I was using a lot of these negative comments to show myself, hey, there's a big group of idiots out there. You can either associate yourself with them or move on from the crowd. So, my big thing now is I'm just going to move on. I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to say, hey, be yourself. Not everyone's going to accept you. And just be glad you got people that love you. Be glad you got people that like you as friends and not like you like these people like me where they're just making fun of me or whatever. And if I included your comment in my video and said you just commented just like that to make fun of me, then I apologize if you didn't. But if you think that, you commenting like that to piss me off and get my attention is going to be worth it by saying that you got offended by me using your comment, I'm not reading my comments anymore on this channel. I'm done. I'm out of here. No more YouTube videos for me. At least no more making YouTube videos. I have my own life to live. I have to focus on what I'm doing. I have to focus on improving myself, not listening to people who don't know me or don't know what they're talking about. And I do want to clarify, I never said anything about this in any of my videos. The last statement that was made by somebody in the comment section is just to try and get me riled up. Although I do want to say that that would have some advantages for somebody that doesn't eat there quite as often as other people, because now even if that's how do I say this, true or not, that would have some advantages, like not eating there, for example. Do you realize how fattening McDonald's can be? With all the sugar that's in all their foods? All the salt that's in all their foods?